A long time ago, before there was you and I, there lived a young, handsome but lazy lad. His name was Aluko. Aluko was the only son of his aged widowed mother, who had 12 other daughters. Being an only son made Aluko a spoilt and lazy brat right from birth. When he reached his teenage years, he refused to follow his mother and sisters to the farm. He would always say, "My hands are not made for farming. God gave me these beautiful hands for something better." He would then lie on his late father's agbantara, greeting every passerby till it was evening, when he'd stand up and go for swimming in the village river. When Aluko clocked 19, with no handwork and still as lazy as ever, his mother took him to Baba Jala, the best palm wine tapper in the village, to learn palm wine tapping. Aluko reluctantly followed Baba Jala for a week before giving up. He would complain every night. "My back hurts from carrying those heavy palm wine gourds to the market." His sisters would laugh at him and say, "If you're already complaining of back pain now because you are carrying palm wine, what would you complain of when you start climbing the palm trees?" Aluko would pay no heed to his sister's words and kept on complaining till he gave up on palm wine tapping. Next, his mother took him to Baba Disa, the famous basket weaver in the village. Aluko endured for a month before he stopped going to work. This time around, he informed nobody at home. He would dress up in the morning in guise that he was going to work, but he went elsewhere. It was after 2 weeks that his mother came across Baba Disa at the village square and inquired about her son's progress at work, that she found out that Aluko no longer went to work. Mama Aluko had to give up on her only son, whom she had spoiled from birth. However, one sunny afternoon, the heavens smiled at Mama Aluko and answered her prayers. Many people in the village have been anticipating the arrival of Opelenge, the infamous magician, and his crew. They have heard stories of his magic tricks. They said he could cut off a human head and glue it back with his saliva. The villagers rumored amongst themselves. And so that sunny afternoon, Opelenge arrived in the village. Aluko was at the village square as usual, gisting away with his jobless friends, when they caught sight of Opelenge the magician. They watched as the magician and his crew set up their stage in the village square, with villagers passing by, whispering and giggling with excitement, anticipating the great show that awaits them that night. Aluko was suddenly curious and fascinated. Could it be true? He thought in himself. Could this man really cut off a head and glue it back? Could he really turn the lily flowers to doves? Could he really swallow a whole cutlass? These thoughts made him restless, so he decided to stay behind and watch the magician's show. When the sun went down completely, the village square buzzed with eager eyes wanting to watch the magician's show. Aluko was one of them. Opelenge started his show by performing so many tricks that made Aluko fall in love with magic. He ran home just before the show ended, and he told his mother that he had finally found his purpose. "Mommy, I want to become a magician." Tonight, I am joining Opelenge's crew and we are going to be performing together in all other villages." His mother was shocked and begged him not to go, but all her pleas fell on his deaf ears. His mind was made up already. Aluko ran out of his mother's compound all the way back to the village square. Luckily for him, he met Opelenge and his crew just before they left the village. That night, he became one of Opelenge's crew members. Years passed before Aluko went back to his village. His mother and sisters had given up hope on finding him. They thought he was dead already. The day Aluko stepped into his mother's village, this village was turned upside down with excitement and jubilation. Aluko did not come back as a failure, but rather, he was the infamous AJANLEKOKO, the magician who could swallow an elephant and spit it out as if he had swallowed a morsel of amala. His mother and sisters were pleased to see him again. They provided the odds for Aluko's crew members to lodge in because Aluko had brought them to his village to perform his greatest show. Aluko started the stage setup in the village square with his crew members just like he watched Opelenge did years ago. At dusk, Aluko, the infamous AJANLEKOKO, the magician, started his show. The whole village was bewildered by his tricks. His tricks were more real and jaw-dropping than that of Opelenge. Aluko was now the Grand Master of Magic. After performing several tricks, Aluko announced that he had a final magic trick to perform that will leave the whole village in awe all their lives. He brought out a coffin and laid in it. Then he instructed his crew to shut the lid of the coffin and bury him in the ground which they had already dug in the village square. He had boasted before entering the coffin that he was going to lay in the coffin for 3 days underground with no air, water and food. And after 3 days, his crew members will dig out the coffin and he will be found alive. The whole village screamed, "How is that possible? Don't do that. Don't risk your life." But Aluko smiled. He said, "I am AJANLEKOKO, the Grand Master of Magic. Even death cannot stop me. Death cannot hold me down. I am the Grand Master of Magic. Not even death can kill me." And so, the coffin was put in the ground and covered. Unknown to the villagers, Aluko had liaised with his crew members that when the whole village has gone to sleep, they would dig out the coffin and bring him out to be able to eat, drink, and breathe in fresh air. But unknown to Aluko, his crew members never loved him. They have always looked for opportunities to get rid of their wicked and cruel master. Because Aluko was not just a magician, he was a very, very wicked man who never for once treated his crew members right. Aluko waited patiently in the coffin, suffocating, waiting for his crew members to bring him out. He kept on banging the lid of the coffin, but no one heard him because it was deep underground. After suffering for hours, he gave up the ghost. 3 days later, his crew members called the whole villagers to come and watch the Grand Master of Magic, the infamous AJANLEKOKO, as he would step out of the coffin alive. But to the shock of the whole village, AJANLEKOKO's dead body was brought out of the coffin. His crew member wept and pretended as if they know nothing about what had happened to him. But deep down in their hearts, they jubilated because they have gotten rid of their wicked master. If you love this story, kindly give us a thumbs up. Leave a comment in the comment section. Tell us your thoughts. What did you learn in this story? And don't forget to subscribe and share with your family members and friends. Thank you for watching.